It's the place to be, you're gonna get to know. Restaurants and movies appear, amusement parks and ocean piers, boardwalk built and loved by family. Atlantic City's face, a changing place, time to lead the way. You want to see the old become the new, remember yesterday. Rolling chairs and trolley cars, Ferris wheels and movie stars, boardwalk built and loved by family. Atlantic City, my hometown. Atlantic City, world's playground. Atlantic City star shines near and far, you can see its glow. You get some sand in your shoes, shells in your hand, it's the place to go. Beauty pageants and parades, cotton candy taffies made, boardwalk built and loved by family. Atlantic City, my hometown. Atlantic City, world's playground. Atlantic City, my hometown. Atlantic City, world's playground.
Hello, and welcome back to the Postcard Show. I'm your host, Joseph Polillo. This is my identical twin brother, John Polillo. We come to you each week, same time, same station, to flip postcards. Strictly Atlantic City. We go over the postcards in the past, present, future tense, what it's going to look like. But what we like to do each show when we start is to ask you to move a little closer to your television set, use your telephone to call a friend, tape the show.
Send it to everyone you can send it to, or send it to the library, send it to the schools. Keep it for yourself.
Nursing homes, number in the area, rec centers, schools, libraries. We appreciate it. It's very informative, and we enjoy doing it for you. So move closer to your television set. We're going to start out with rolling chairs, another means of transportation in Atlantic City. The rolling chair came into existence as a chair to assist people who were infirmed. Atlantic City has always been a health resort, and with rolling chairs like this, who needs to walk? So people would wave down the rolling chair guy.
Look how neat the boardwalk was there, man. We don't know what street we're at here, but we're up on the boardwalk. They used to really use awnings, man. They loved awnings. And that's going westbound.
And they would use them.
Here they are in the rolling chair. See, if you notice, though, back then, the specs for the boardwalk were for this rolling chair lane, and they did away with it. And today it would have been wild with the inline skates and everything, because we used to roller skate up here. And you got a smooth walk, like a hardwood floor, the whole length of the boardwalk. Today you can't do that. Today the whole ride is like on the boardwalk, you know, it's all jittery.
Well, I would say that that was one of the major engineering mistakes the city ever made in taking away the rolling chair lane and the specs that middle rod would have to be in there.
Right, well, our bulwark department used to erect the bulwark and build the bulwark, and they knew what they were doing. They contracted out to somebody, and they just come in and just boarded the bulwark and took out the specs for the rolling chair lanes, which should be put back in there because the tram has destroyed the boardwalk, and they should put this rolling chair lane so you get a smooth ride on the boardwalk in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I heard they put some real stinky wood together recently on the boardwalk. Rolling chairs.
They bought wood that smelt like you were in a manure factory and denied it. There's a rolling chair.
Chairs.
Everyone's sitting in the rolling chairs along the rail, the way they
All
would,
women, no guys.
the way they would watch the Miss America pageant.
Oh yeah, they used to sit outside all the ambassadors,
Just like
the Ritz,
this.
all the hotels like that along the rail. It was fantastic. Take note of the typical boardwalk scene of electric signs and advertisement signs,
And this one here backwards was Gillette safety razors.
awnings.
You probably had Brady's bath here. What would that be? If this is the if this is the Mayflower back here, or Young's Hotel, you're talking about between Kentucky, Illinois, and Indiana here.
Yeah.
You have the baths, photography, a lot of stuff. That the awnings. That was when they knew how to operate the shade game.
Well, the sun was across the front every day, still is, right?
That's right.
The rolling chair parade starting up around the St. Charles Hotel.
Here we are with the Heinz Pier out here, coming into Massachusetts Avenue. This is the Rudolph. Years later, the breakers would be put in front of this, and Garden Pier would be built right out here. And this piece here would be the St. Charles Hotel, right here, at St. Charles in the boardwalk.
Was it a
And
good
this,
ride?
if you notice, these rolling chairs are single-person rolling chairs. And look at how the electrical wires are strung down the outside of the boardwalk.
And you get yourself a guy to push you around. You had a good time.
There's
That
the rolling
rolling chair lane. I like it.
There's the rolling chair lane again, which the last few engineers in the city of Atlantic City have made a tremendous blunder and a waste of money, and they're still making the same mistakes. But this here rolling chair lane should be put back into the specs of the boardwalk in the next contract to have a smooth ride on the boardwalk.
Right, and the city should start featuring this rolling chair. This rolling chair is a great asset to the city of Atlantic City.
Here you see the old Trainmore. Now this steeple, don't get confused, this steeple belongs to the Windsor Hotel, which was on the other side of Illinois Avenue. And this was the original Haddon Hall. They used to call them cottages.
No, Trainmore.
Oh, excuse me, Trainmore. And then this is when they took their front lawn and added their modern hotel to continue being a hotel and making money till they got back here and then tore this down. And the edifice that follows is a huge three-domed hotel called the Trainmore, which this is the original cottage.
The single rolling chair started out as the wheelchair as we know it today for the infirmed and children from the seashore homes as a health resort. And those single chairs are rather unique, and there's none today. But I wanted to point out that structure in the back there, John, that we always talk about out in front of the Strand here. This became Wolfie's. They enclosed that, and it was a rolling chair garage, so to speak, where the chairs would line up, just like your Acme carts or something. A stand, a rolling chair stand.
This is the front of the shelfonette, right here.
In front of the
when it was
Strand.
wood.
They
See,
made
here's the
that Wolfie's.
shelfonette right here. Now these single rolling chairs hold one person,
Yeah,
because this was a health resort. But then again, in the 20s and 30s, they used these wheelchairs to bundle up and cover yourself incognito in and be wheeled down the boardwalk to Chalfonette Avenue, where there were apartment buildings, profiles.
Looked like a real show of what kind of clothing and money you had also. Fur coats, nice rolling chairs. Where are we located there? We're about...
We're saying we're at South Carolina in the boardwalk, right? New York?
Yeah, I think so.
New York,
That's Kentucky.
Tennessee, South Carolina.
That's pretty nice over there. And people standing on the rail trying to watch the ladies go by, people walking by, rolling
There's horses. Now note, if you know Atlantic City and you know east from west, their shadows are particularly going straight up the boardwalk. So that means what? That means it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right, and they're heading east towards uptown.
And if you notice, the planking in the specs of the boardwalk, again, are larger than a 2x4. But some contractor wanted to rip off the city years later, and he made it a different spec all on his own. These should be a larger board on the bulwark, and you'd get more footage and length uptown in the same board, one board.
Here's your Indiana Avenue ramp for your Park Place ramp, and the rolling chairs are lined up in it.
I think what you have here, you see the Brighton Hotel here, you can barely see the carriage over here, just tipping in on the corner here. You can see the Claridge. Where is it? Right there.
I don't see it, my
No,
man.
not yet.
No, and they won't be able to see it either. So
All right, but
forget
anyway,
that.
this here would be the ramp that led to the Marlboro Blenheim, and they would line up the rolling chairs, and as the guests came out of the hotel, they'd get a rolling chair and go where they were going to go. But notice, there's no Park Lane, there's no Madison, there's nothing on the backside of Illinois Avenue here.
Check this one out. Isn't that nice? Rolling
It is.
chair lane, there it is again.
There's that rolling chair lane, which made a smooth ride for the rolling chair. But look at here, down on the beach,
The
they're
cabana.
getting ready. That's wild, isn't it? Look at that. So this would be from Illinois to Indiana.
Smorgasbord.
That's where Smorgasbord is.
I always read that sign up there in that corner of that place when I used
I think
to
it was called the Needlecraft when we were kids.
I can't remember.
People that remember, I think it was the Needlecraft.
Fatima on the
Or
sign.
Perkins. Had to do with Jackie Gleason show, remember?
Fatima sign meant what? Cigarettes. right?
Cigarettes, Fatima.
And
That's the bulwark, the way she looked.
Right, and here's the bulwark the way she looked. That looks like it's right at the T-Jetty up around Vermont.
Chair ride.
Hello. Watch the chair. Remember that?
Yeah.
Watch the chair.
That does look like this would be the Main Avenue Pavilion
Yeah.
here in front of the Royal Palace.
True, they could be on that stretch of boardwalk also. But then they would all get together and go for the ride in a group.
There they are getting ready to go for a ride.
Rolling
Rolling
chair
chairs.
ride. Look how pretty this one is. Where do the people see this one here? This one's fantastic. I got it. The puppy, the poodle in the thing, and oh man.
Got a French poodle here with the woman.
Yeah, good boy.
This would be the Steeplechase Pier, because here's the steel pier in the back.
All right. What a day,
That would
huh?
be Pennsylvania in the boardwalk.
Is this the same one? Did I show that one?
Showed
looks
that
like
already.
the guy.
Yeah.
Here's one, I don't think this is Atlantic City.
I'll pull it up.
I don't think this is Atlantic City. It looks like, I don't think that's Atlantic
I
City.
don't think so.
No, not two sides
What would
of the
this
wall.
be? No, you're not allowed to be over there.
That's Asbury
This
Park.
is probably Asbury Park, Coney Island, or something after they copied Atlantic City.
Yeah, here you go.
There you go. Now what you got here is the Strand, and this is the Haddon Hall. You can look at it right here. This is the Haddon Hall right
Okay,
there.
side
Got to
of
be a little bit more.
All right, that's the best.
There's the Haddon Hall. Look, there's a cottage. The Haddon Hall and the St. Charles actually look the same.
And what's that big building there? The Strand?
This is the Strand.
And that's the dining room around the bottom, like the
Yeah, right
shelter.
here, yeah. You can
Right.
see the dining room wrapped around there. Years later, they had a tremendous fire, and I have newspaper articles of 4 people on the ledge. They were leapers. They were ready to leap
Well,
before
Manny
the fire.
Solomon was running that, who formerly had the Strand Motel or the Strand Gallery.
He
down
owned
east
it.
now, and he's running the Strand Restaurant in Chelsea Heights right now.
That's true. And Manny, when they owned this, when this burned down, they came down to between Montpelier and Sovereign on Pacific. And then, as you look at it, you could actually tie in Atlantic City. When Maryland Avenue burnt down, the Rowers got the Mount Royal behind the Strand. You know, when the Breakers burnt down, the Malmets got the Shelburne.
There.
When the St. Charles burnt down, Neustadt and Goldberg got the Chelsea. You know, it was like playing three-card Monte. They moved everybody out of the inlet, burned it all down, and they could still operate. Yeah, monopoly.
Here's the other side of the Strand.
This is the Pennsylvania Avenue side. This
What
would
they
be
call
the
that building behind it?
this would be the entrance to the seaside. This is the Abbey part of it when we were after this burnt down in '53. March the 31st, 1953, I presume, the whole place burnt down.
And where's the seaside? I don't see the seaside.
Right here.
Is that the front door?
Yeah, is it showing on?
No?
That's the seaside right there. Like that.
Okay.
I stood here and watched that fire burn.
Oh.
I was 4 or 5 years old.
You didn't know that the firemen that they dragged out of there all burnt from falling through 5 floors was your uncle?
Not at the time,
Not
we
at
did
the
not.
time.
We found out the next day, though.
Check that. Rolling chair lane.
Here it is. There's that rolling chair lane, which they should put back in the specs there, Mayor.
Now, a lot of people remember the Men in Skin Brazier commercial and Men in Underarm stuff and Coca-Cola and the Loop-de-Loop and all. Look at the clothes on the people, and the sign says Menin. So how far back did Menin go before our generation?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Thanks, I needed that.
Well, that's why every 6 weeks it's the new Tide or
How about new and improved Coca-Cola here?
Coca-Cola sign.
Now, what pier is that right there, incidentally? Is it the Steeplechase Pier with this all the way out here? What is this?
That's Central Pier.
Central.
Yeah, here's Young's Hotel, which became the Mayflower. It's the Central Pier. Later on, they got rid of that and put model homes out there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's Schiff's Pier today.
Yes.
Okay, Abe and Bobby.
This is when it was. This is when it was wood.
Okay, and
It's not wood
well, here's that
anymore.
strand again. We'll have to go back to that because here's where they filled in the boardwalk and made the different places different. That's under construction. That's rafters. Here's the rolling chair stand or location, which was for the people as they came out of the hotel.
This long green roof, if you can see it here, is the Haddon Hall.
Right, the cottage.
Right, and it came up to the end, and it had a grass lawn, which they later put in the arcade.
And they remodeled and renovated this corner to be Wolfie's restaurant. And right here, the guy would stand to take you to the boats.
Well, they had a clock.
Yeah.
Next boat goes out at 1 o'clock, and you buy tickets, and they take you down the ramp and drive you out to Captain Starnes, and you go for a boat ride.
On the boardwalk in Atlantic City, the Traymore front, if I'm correct.
I can't tell right now. Yeah, that would be
Traymore
from
in
the
Illinois
train,
Avenue.
the front of the Traymore to Indiana Avenue.
And that's something.
All right.
Very nice. And there's that rolling chair lane again.
There it is. Watch it. It comes right down the boardwalk. They did away with it to save money and ruined the boardwalk.
There you go.
And they put the tram up there to make money and ruined the boardwalk.
Yeah, agreed.
They put in jetties to save the beach and ruined the
Boardwalk,
beach.
Right. Oh, this is the modern age.
Yeah, I
I
just
think
think
we've
they're,
seen this one before.
I just think they're not thinking enough. This is a nice rolling chair parade.
Yep. Here's some people in a rolling chair.
There you go.
Don't pay any attention to that price. Here's a better, same picture, a little better. Not too good, though.
These are sort of manufactured pictures.
Yes, this right. I think this is a photo behind it. You know how
Right.
you used to go into the different
You used to
studios?
go into a building, and they would have this large picture with a rolling chair sitting in a warehouse. And you would get in the rolling chair, and they'd take your picture, and it would look like you were there. They actually even had a shadow drawn so it appeared as if you were actually outside. But you can clearly see
that
that
it's
that
fake.
is
They're
fake.
That's a fake one.
Right, that's a fake one. This here is a picture on a wall in a big warehouse with a rolling chair there, and they would enact as if you were in a rolling chair in Atlantic, on the boardwalk in Atlantic City,
Well, it looks like I have some duplicates, but
Where-
here's a different one.
where life
These
was
two here.
peaches and cream.
Yes, Victorian era.
There's the boardwalk again. This is an old card. You can tell by the mode and the style that they're dressing in. You can see it. This is probably 1909, 1910, 11, 12. Is there a postmark on this? Did it go through the mail?
Yes.
What year?
Sometime, let's show people the back of one.
Yeah.
We haven't done this yet, but there's prices, different times they were bought and all. If you tried to pull the tags off or change it so many times, you'd wreck the card. But what does the date say on there? Can you see
I have
it?
no idea. 1909.
Whoa, 1909.
Right.
And there's having a fun time here. I'm with Stevenson, and this is great. The weather is warmer now, so there they are, and that's the back. Some people collect them for the postmark, some for the stamps. Some love to reminisce and read what it says, and there that is. And that's what the era it came from. Pretty nice place. And here's the last one that we have.
Right
We
in
want to
front
look
of
at the
the
things that are behind there when we get a close look. Here, check that out first for the people. $5 they wanted for that. From Baltimore, what was it, 1923 or something? What was it?
1903.
03, check it out, and in front of the Traymore.
There it is.
Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? And I also wanted to show you how the different hotels, this is what I tried to say before, use the rolling chair, pump the rolling chair. Each hotel would have their own little rolling chair place where they would put the chairs. Aren't there a bunch of rolling chairs right here?
All right.
What's
Well,
the
there's a
front?
couple. But what does it say here?
Grand Atlantic Hotel, Virginia. That's facing Margate.
That's facing down beach. It was on the other side. Most of us that grew up
Wasn't
I
there?
think when the Owlsworth and the Grand Atlantic, no, this was there. What they did is they connected these porches in the 50s, and there was bars down here.
Nice.
Because I remember walking to the steel pier down this side and looking over and seeing all that all lying down there. And the way to cheat on Virginia Avenue was to get up on this porch, and you could walk from almost Pacific Avenue to Virginia and the Bulwark on the porches. They connected all the porches right down the east side of Virginia Avenue, and there was nothing but bars and seating arrangements and everything up and
Now
down.
we got a bonus here. We're going to change the subject matter. I can't put this one up tall, but I'm going to put it up. It says use crane valves. It's the giant gate valve forming the main entrance to the Crane National Exhibit on the boardwalk in Atlantic City at Georgia and the Boardwalk, west side. There it is sideways, because I can't sit it up straight right now. But that's the entrance inside the Crane building as you came down.
The entrance was that you went through a big plumbing valve, and they made it real large.
There it is there. There, that's how you walked into the place. And that's inside the Crane building where they were showing people how the great plumbing methods were coming to the forefront in America. They even had a replica of the Tower Bridge of London in the building, which would be this photograph. This is inside the Crane building now. There's a set for Crane building. You have to buy the whole set, of course, to have the complete set. And on the west side of the main foyer, they had these different valves, and they go through each room of the house. Atlantic City was a great town for, exhibits of many different new and modern things.
Here we have the actual front door right on the boardwalk. It's the Crane exhibit rooms. They would rent out the rooms, and you would go in there, and one room would be for plumbing, one room would be for kitchen cabinets, one room would be for something else.
And the front door, as you see, had
the
the
daytime
valve, and there's how you walk through it.
Years later, I was standing here one time, and on the right side of the convention hall, what was it, the Democratic National Convention? I saw Lyndon Johnson and Hubert Humphrey talking over their strategy there with a lot of senators and people that run the government in America. And Gloria Steinem and the Mississippi delegation were burning their bras out here on the boardwalk, and Bull Connor was refusing to seat the coalition.
And Walter Jenkins was waiting for me to bring the elevator to the 10th floor to Deauville to bring him down. Here's the Crane building at night. Again, beautiful shot. George and the Boardwalk.
This was George Avenue, and you got to the end of this ramp, you had Nick Talley's bar down here.
Yeah, there was some local people now. They had it all fixed up with flowers and planters, just like we do on our set here. Beautiful. And they had grand staircases going up into the second floor inside the Crane building.
Years later, what they did, when the building was really at its end, they put a rock and roll band here, and it used to be a discotheque. A rock and roll.
Called Phase 2.
And Max Sealy and Cliff Shute, they called it Phase 2, was it?
Yeah, Cliff owns the thing on, what's it called, the Deja Vu Lounge, or whatever it's called.
It was the Chez Paris, and then it became Deja Vu, and then it became something else.
And then Jack Portock had his corner on the cob in there.
Right.
Remember that? Pete Polillo and Jack Portock and all? Those local people. This is a writing room inside the Crane building. I guess they gave these particular postcards out, and you sat and wrote them out.
And nailed it.
In and around the 30s this was. So we're having a mighty good time, the gentleman says in his postcard to his wife.
That was one of the exhibit rooms was the modern kitchen. They showed you how the kitchen would be in the future.
And a big hall room to have demonstrations or meetings of some sort. The French Cabinet Lavatory. Okay, so they had different
This would be the bathroom.
Tiles and types of things and features that are very good. The bathroom, plumbing section.
Right, they showed you how the sinks would be in the future in situations like that.
And also tubs and stuff in the other direction.
Right.
Bathrooms.
Modern tubs, which is pretty standard now. It's exactly what it is, except if you get a jacuzzi or whatever.
Basins, towels, racks, mirrors. The Crane exhibit. Then they had what they called the alcove bath, is what we know as our regular bathrooms today. If you check it out, that was the bathroom, the modern bathroom before we had it in our homes from the 55 and up. So that's essentially the Crane building. Very good. And
We can
We're
find the
What are we looking for?
commode.
We're ready to go off?
Well, there's no
Okay.
picture of it.
Okay.
No,
All right. What's next? What do you want to go to next?
doesn't matter to me.
Okay, we have a few minutes. We'd like to show you some hotel dining rooms. How about that? Okay, let's see some hotel dining rooms. We'll run through these hotel dining rooms real quick. There's a small part. We'll show you hotels later. Let's start right there. What hotel room is
The
that?
dining room, the Colton Manor,
Pennsylvania
and Pacific.
and Pacific Avenues. I think it's gone just about a year now.
Yeah.
Gone.
It was nice.
What else you got? American Plan, Marlboro Blenheim Hotel Room.
Here's the dining-
Beautiful room.
Here's the dining room with the Marlboro Blenheim. Now, you see these plates? There's people that have these plates. I know that we were informed over the weekend that a Mr. Geiger in Northfield or Linwood has these plates and memorabilia from the Marlboro Blenheim room. It was actually exquisite. You couldn't imagine what it was like.
We'll have to bring a
Back
plate
then.
in. I'll have to bring a plate in, right? I could bring a plate in of the Marlboro Blenheim. Peter
Right.
Rickey, a friend of our family, was the chef at the Marlboro Blenheim. His brother Frank was the baker for the Marlboro Blenheim and the dentist.
What hotel is this here?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to
Pull it back out and read it.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Dining Hall, Hotel Kentucky, Kentucky Avenue near the beach. Every one of these hotels had fabulous dining rooms.
These were the ceilings you would look up at as a kid that were still around town. It was like a pressed metal that was, a big impression was made in it, and they would keep it up and nail it to the ceilings. I know all the schools were like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
This is another dining room of the Lyric Hotel.
Where was the Lyric
I don't know
Hotel?
where the Lyric Hotel was.
Lyric Hotel is at South Arkansas Avenue.
South Arkansas.
The Lyric?
Okay. Well, that was Bar Haven there, wasn't it? That,
Yeah, right down that whole downtown side of the street up to Babette's.
Here's the Mayflower, which is at the Boardwalk in Tennessee. Was at the Boardwalk in Tennessee, has been demolished. We have about 3 minutes to go. We'll finish up on the interiors and things.
Everything was. Mostly everything you see here was. It's gone.
How about the Monticello?
Here's the Monticello.
Is that where the
Yeah,
gaming
this
hall
is
was?
Monticello and the Bath and Turf were your major casinos. This may look like a dining hall, but there were certain times at night when this was a gambling casino, and this was the main cover-up one besides the Bath and Turf. This was a major casino.
The Vienna restaurant or the Venice Inn restaurant on South Mississippi?
Is it the Vienna?
Sure is.
All right. This was a
The old
Syracuse.
Vienna.
That would be on the boardwalk at the corner of, New York and the boardwalk, I think.
Okay, here's the Homehurst, which had was on the National Historic Record at one time.
Yeah, so was the Blenheim. They tore that down, too.
Yeah, so the city has no significance anymore as far as history goes.
Well, you
But
know,
here's the
you know,
Riptide.
You couldn't go above the third floor in the Blenheim, so it didn't
Here's the
make any sense.
Riptide room in the Panatlantic Hotel
All
where
right, this is
everybody hung out.
where the deals went down. They say the Panatlantic. I remember when it was closed for 3 years. The guys that own Augustine's, Mike Fiore and them, also had it. And when they would keep the bands that played in the club there, they would give them free lodging.
Here's the Riptide room again.
There it is.
Kravitz had his radio show out of there at one time.
My Pinky probably used to sit right over here and do his show, which he
Oh.
also did from the gondola room,
Oh, Luigi's.
Steel Pier, Luigi's,
Everywhere,
the
everywhere.
Stanley Restaurant,
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Here's the
ShopRite.
main dining room and dance floor at the Atlantic City Casino. We were talking to an individual today, the historian Levinson, and we were trying to find out where was the Atlantic City Casino, and you told him. Where is it?
In all my inquiries about where this was, we believe it is in Brigantine, and we believe it is the actual main building of the Brigantine Golf Course.
Hello.
This is what people have told us. Now, that may hearsay. People that know, write the station, tell us the real answer. We do not. Actually, it has never been really, substantiated or proven that the Atlantic City Casino is where we say it is, but we believe it was it's right now the Brigantine Golf Course main building in Brigantine. My brother and I first thought it was the
First, the president.
President Hotel. We thought that this would be the around the world room. That's what we thought.
Or the Ritz downstairs.
Or the Ritz downstairs where you went into the merry-go-round.
All right, listen, we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate you tuning in again. As you know, we want you to tape these programs. We want you to tell a friend to tune in. We want you to get close to your TV when the show's on. We also would like you to...
New York has its lady, San Francisco the Bay, Paris has its tower, London its queen. The town I was born in might change from old to new. That's something I must tell you. I've got sand in my shoes. I'll never leave Atlantic City. I'll never go too far away. I'll never leave Atlantic City. On the boardwalk, the song, people come every day, take in the salt air, walk on its beaches, might ride in rolling chairs. When they look at the brand new, think of the old days, things they used to do. Atlantic City, my hometown, I won't forget Atlantic City. I'll never leave